Usually it's just anybody who raises their hand. He may, I won't say never, he may have actually been picking from a pre-selected group of people yesterday, but
Yeah, it seemed like that to me.
yeah, if people had recently done the do and gotten some huge returns from it, then yes, he may have been picking from that list.
Uh-huh.
I believe we heard from Miss Lourdes.
I saw Miss Lourdes on several calls. One call. Which call did I see her on yesterday? The 4 o'clock call, I think. Yeah, the millionaire mentorship call. Miss Lourdes was on there. That was awesome. All right, kids. Good morning. So great to see you all. So happy that you're here. Thank you very much to the interpreter. Really appreciate you being here. Um, let's see what is happening. Things. Every time I start up Facebook Messenger on my computer, it crashes. So don't send me anything on Facebook Messenger. It's just bothering me. Let's see. What is happening up here? I've got a lot of random screens just open that need to go away. We'll close that. We'll close that. I was
So
going back off.
yesterday,
Yes, go for it.
who was it? Spell it again. Jen Pruhad. She had some good products, but really fast speaker and missed some of the information. It was like 30 minutes. So I thought, whoa.
That call is recorded. The Jen Reed, Rhead was her name. And the call was recorded. It was a 2 o'clock call, California time, so or actually Mountain time, so 4 o'clock your time, maybe.
Yes, 4 o'clock.
So yeah, that was a corporate call. And that one's going to be, it was recorded and it will be placed on the Partner Co. US Partners website. So
Yeah, and just let you know, there was some things, PowerPoints that were missing.
yeah, hopefully they'll
They
be
kind
able
of skip. It was like skipping. So
okay. Hopefully when the replay gets posted up, and I haven't looked for the replay yet, they'll fix that in post-production. And if not, you can always reach out to James and say, hey James,
so it was Jen and Max.
I have no idea who was on the call. I wasn't there. I was still teaching. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just wanted to let you know. That's all.
Yeah. If there are pieces or parts of that call that seemed missing, you can put a message into the actually to the Partner Co. corporate webpage, the US Partners website, and ask them, like, it seems like part of this is missing. Can you help fill in the parts that are missing? And they should be able to help with that. Good morning, Miss Gloria. Good morning, Miss Shelley.
Good morning.
Miss Shelley's still laying down.
I am.
Are you feeling better?
Shelley sounds tired.
I'm really tired. I can't get over this tired.
Me
Feeling
too.
a little better with the sore throat and stuff, but the tiredness is taking its time to go away.
Me too, sweetie.
How is that
Me
right?
too.
Oh,
Louie, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If I started playing with AI and Partner Co. Emblem, okay? And I know that is a uh, okay, what do you call it? It's copyrighted. Okay.
Right. Correct.
So, so if I change the colors or if I do stuff, will I get, is that something I should not do?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's
It
still their
just needs
logo.
to
It's like
stay.
it's like screwing around with Pepsi's logo.
Okay. So do not change it.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Okay. But I can put it on my site.
If you so choose, absolutely. There's images out there that we can use. They've actually put them on the Share app, and they're in there. If anything that marketing has put out for us to use is literally in the Share app, like it's all in there. I got a chance to uh, have a brief conversation with Mark from marketing uh, while I was in Texas, and I was like, he was like, yeah, literally everything we put in there is that we've ever created is in the Share app. If it's for you guys to use, it's in the Share app.
There you are.
So if you're ever looking for like any kind of artwork, videos, or something like that that corporate has created, it's literally all inside the Share app.
You know,
Okay. So
you just gotta love a company that is willing to share their copyright and trademark rights with people. I worked for a photographer that shared copyrights of every photo she took with the people whose pictures they were. I just greatly appreciate that in a company
Mhm.
because I was recently made aware of a company out there that like literally controls everything and you know and plus advertises on television and things like that. And you know, from just my honest opinion, that company sucks. Pickle. Our company rocks. Just saying.
Understood. Yeah, there are companies out there that control their media a lot more intensely. Uh, PartnerCo is one of the companies that trusts their field to a certain degree. There is still the whole make sure everything's compliant that we do situation, but that's legalities that necessarily need to be made. Miss Francine, I see your hand up. What you got? P.S. You're also on mute.
Yes, my question is, one of my business partners, she has a potential customer. They live in Jamaica. However, they have a US PO box because they order like Amazon stuff. Can they order the product with that PO box?
I want to say yes, but my Canadians would have a
I
better answer for that.
Yeah, no, I think they can
Yeah.
because there are areas in Canada, for example, where their mail has to come to a PO box. So it would work the same.
Because she'd be sending it to an American address,
Yeah.
Or
like
can he,
somewhere here in the US.
like she orders Amazon stuff from Jamaica through a PO box?
Yeah.
Well,
She should be able to do that.
the difference is though that Amazon isn't delivering her products. If they're using UPS,
I
do
think
you
so. Those services.
okay, need to check with corporate because I know recently UPS and the US Postal Service, USPS, severed the agreement that they had.
They're not
And
doing it anymore.
yeah, the UPS wasn't going to be delivering to USPS post office boxes anymore. However, the work around that is the and this gets really funny here for me. The UPS store in where I live, I can get a post office box through them with a real address. So it looks like a real address. So it's UPSing to a UPS store, but it's an address. And that's how I have to, when I get back to Hurricane, I got to go get my PO box over there so I can start doing it that way because Where my boxes are getting sent now, my best friend's husband is extremely nosy and he likes to open every box that comes to his house because he thinks he has the right to. And I'm getting tired of getting the, oh, I'm really sorry, Brooke opened your box message. So, yeah, there's a workaround for it, but it's a little bit more complicated. Tell find a UPS store. Amazon will deliver to the UPS store too.
Yeah, so it should be okay. I mean, yeah, no, we cannot deliver directly to Jamaica yet.
Working on it.
However, that being the case, yeah, because Canada is going through the fun stuff. I see you, Miss Twyla. You got a
We
comment on this?
we Paul, because we were having to ship to Africa to our one guy when we were in Kayani, and to ship normally it would cost his order would be like $200 or $300 to ship it. So we found a shipping place that we could ship to and Paul could probably tell you more about it and I can find out right there in it shipped to Florida and it was like $100 to ship it. For that, for where it was going was way cheaper, but you can reship anything. You cannot, I, if it's not allowed in a country, sometimes you can't ship into it. Like I tried to ship him some stuff to Mexico while I was there. They opened it up and said, you can pay to have it returned or we can just throw it away. I said, well, why don't you just use it? It's really all natural stuff. And I says, I'm not going to pay $20 to have it shipped back. But you got to be careful when you're shipping to a different country if they will flag it open and not let it go either.
Yeah, that is my one major concern with trying to ship to a country that we don't currently deliver to, is the legalities of getting it into the country at all.
And most likely they'll flag it and won't let it go through. Jamaica, I had people who wanted it in Jamaica too, and it was like impossible to get it in unless they went away from Jamaica and brought it in physically. If they went to another country and picked it up and brought it back, they could, but we couldn't ship into it.
You may want to ask Amelia and Dana because I mean, when I send things to them, they had a Georgia address.
Yeah.
To ship out of Georgia.
Yeah. There may be an actual workaround. Just it literally sadly depends on the country's rules. So and unless you know those countries' rules very, very well, welcome to being at the whim of those guys. But yeah, good question. Really good question. Because as we grow and get bigger and we start getting customers in random different places, and new brand partners as well. I've got one guy that works with me who is also in network marketing, just with a different company. And he's from Jamaica. So his base of people would be all Jamaican. And I'm like, yep. So we're not sending stuff to you. You can go look at stuff, but we don't currently deliver to Jamaica. So, I mean, he's got some American folks, and his product happens to be travel, um, the travel service as opposed to actual products. So different setup for that one.
Yeah, because we had a guy in Jamaica who wanted it really bad when we were in Kayani, and we couldn't ship there at all. We tried.
Yeah, and that can be challenging. No lies. All right.
And then I was also told
Go
that
ahead.
if you mess with them when they try to go in, when the company tries to go in and you try to put stuff in there, they won't be as easy to get into either. Because we had a person in Belize that wanted it, and they could gone across. They weren't far from the Mexican border, so they could have had a PO box, gone over and got it, and brought it back. And corporate told us, no, do not do that.
Oh my.
Yeah,
Oh my.
this is because it makes it too hard for them when they do want to get there to try to go in. They'll make it even harder.
Yeah, but Belize, I probably would have actually bought a plane ticket and a really super big suitcase. Done a personal delivery.
Once a month.
Oh yeah.
I know
Cool.
Mexico, going down to the border with us being missionaries and taking clothes, we had to have them in suitcases, not bags, because if we
Yeah.
bought them in bags, they thought that we was trying to resell, and that was illegal. And they would check us at the border, and
Yeah.
they were sometimes real ugly about it, you know. So then other times they just let it go. But I know when we was down at the border from Texas going into Mexico, like I said, you had to make sure you had your ducks in a row.
Are they uglier now, Gloria?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Definitely.
probably
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
Definitely not getting any easier or better. So yeah. So yeah, welcome to the traumas and dramas of getting products into countries where we don't currently have licensure to pull those things off. I'm super happy that and I'm ooh, you guys don't understand, and this is for Francine and Shelly, how hard it is for me right now, not to say what I want to say, but you both know what I'm talking about.
Have any
They're
intention?
rolling. They're rolling.
But how hard it is or for us to get products into countries like Canada where it's
Oh
it's
my God, Canada has always been. I mean, from way back in our Kiani days,
Oh yeah.
I have learned so much about what goes into getting a product into Canada, and I'm just like,
yeah,
ugh.
yeah, it's not the
I
easiest thing.
appreciate the fact that your medical board people are doing their due diligence, but their due diligence takes a long time.
Hurry to
It does.
Yeah, it takes a
Anything
long time.
political is going to
Yeah,
take you a
there
while.
is. I mean, there are companies. I mean, like you guys remember what it was like trying to get new Kyani products brought into Canada. You remember what it was like for that next company to try to get anything into Canada. And it's just a tough situation, and how the release dates get shifted and changed because they're like, oh, we're planning on this date, and then the government decides that, oh, well, it's not right now that's going to happen.
I've
While
never
Canada is not the only place. What was that, Miss Francine?
Yeah.
I've never tasted half of Kayanis products just because of that issue.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are
Just couldn't get them. Just
Yeah.
couldn't get them. And so, yeah, that part, it frustrates me all the
I give
time.
Canadians all the respect for their patience and persistence
Yeah.
and and their politeness. Because I tell you what, I mean, especially the politeness, because at some point patience only goes so far, and y'all have just shown me a level of patience and politeness and perseverance that I didn't know anybody was having to live until I met all you. It's like mass respect, folks, mass respect.
Yeah. It's definitely trying. I know the company out there that the Stallers went to, Vital Health, had not even opened in Canada. Like
Yeah.
they started in Mexico, and brought stuff into the US. And so they had not even opened in Canada by the time we
Guys,
popped over here to PartnerCo. And
Yeah.
so
guys, hey, could I stop you for a minute? I
Hmm.
just,
that's Mama Sandy.
you know, I never used TikTok when everybody was talking about TikTok, and but I do have where I could if I would know how to do it. But I just had while you guys were talking, it went across my screen and it looked like Sandy stopped gossiping about me.
Oh, you just got what do they call that? Spam? It's spam.
Spam.
It's
How
spam.
you spam? I don't even use it. I've never even sent anything.
Do
Yeah,
you have
but
an
you're a
account
lot
there
of
though, right?
Sandys. There's a lot of Sandys out there.
Yeah, you have an account over there, right?
Uh, I don't know
You
because I've never
probably do.
used it.
And the thing that happens, so you don't use it, you don't have to put anything on it. And so there are bots that are out there that like to troll through all of the usernames and just send messages to all those usernames that will incite some sort of a response and make you click on something and get you to click on something to go find out what it's all about. Yeah, don't fall for that.
Mm. Well,
It
I used
happens
to
all the
have a
time. I get
workmate.
all sorts of stuff every single day. Uh, you know, messages through Telegram. I get text messages like straight to my phone number. I get phone calls to my business line. Like I'm like, it's exhausting with all the bots that are out there that are trying to get more and more information from you. And so yeah, don't fall for it. If you didn't do it, if you know for sure that it's not something you are responsible for, and don't click on it first and foremost. Don't respond to it if it's a text message, or some sort of message like that. Don't send back a, but it wasn't me, because that's just them saying, oh, look, there's somebody using this username. So
Then
now
they'll go back at you.
they'll keep coming back at that username and spamming it, which is irritating.
And
Don't respond to those messages, Miss Gloria.
do not ever give them your password information for your bank, your credit cards, or anything, because if you do, they got you, and
Yeah,
they can take you, wipe everything you have out.
If a bank like pretends that they're texting you or a credit card, call them off your phone. Do not go with what's being texted because they don't do business that way. My
yeah,
mom she thought, well, it was our bank. I said, Mom, the bank don't work like that. You should have directly gone to your phone or on your textbook, looked at the bank number, called the bank and asked them if they had something going on that they needed to talk to you about.
mhm,
Yeah.
We learned a lot about that when I worked for U.S. Steel because, and I got a lot of awards because they would do random phishing through security and so forth. So I got email awards for passing the test when they were testing you. And then all of a sudden you get back, you pass. So I had a lot of those. So no, I don't fall for that kind of mess. I don't.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
it's
And
too
they
dangerous.
people are getting craftier and trickier
Yeah,
as
they
the days
are.
go by. I've seen some pretty detailed scam things come through lately, and I'm like, oh, this is impressive. Delete. Like I get a lot of them on a daily basis, and so I've gotten
I
used to
block.
seeing the different things.
Like,
And
like I was told when I was a kid, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably isn't. You know?
Well, I'm
Don't
not
fall for
trusting.
any of that.
My dad taught me believe none of what you hear and only half of what you see. And I find
Right.
that to be very apropos in these times we are living in, because it's like you see on Facebook various people of influence with these posts about current recent events, and they're the paragraphs are flipped around, but the wording's all the same, and you can go back and compare it. And after you see the third one, you're like, okay, who really said this to begin with? Because everybody seemed to be saying the same thing all of a sudden, but they're flipping the paragraphs in different orders, and it's frustrating because authenticity is something that is so important, and it's important in our business. And I don't know if anybody saw the post I did yesterday, but I actually sat down and wrote something lengthy from my own words, from my own heart, because I'm I'm still I'm still going to AI kicking and screaming. I'm just going to admit it. AI, I can't I can't have a symbiont relationship with it just yet. Because of that phrase my dad taught me when I was a little kid. So
AI is dangerous right now. It can be dangerous. It really can, because there's so much bad in how people are using technology. I mean, it's just really dangerous. So we have to be so very careful, guys. So very careful. That's why for years I guess because I'm so behind because Louis has to help because technology, my husband still, I don't get on Facebook. I don't do and I didn't for years.
I didn't either.
Yeah, Mr. T absolutely refuses. It just every time I see him in one of those partner co pictures, I look at him, I go, "Oh, you're on the internet again, honey." And he just looks at me with this look, and so yeah, I guess
My
how do we break past that, Mama Sandy? I mean, I guess
I don't
you and
know
I
because
need.
I know, Sharon, because I see a lot of the couples working together. My husband loves supplementing,
Oh yeah.
but he just refuses to get
Talk
himself
about it
out.
to people. At least mine talks about. He tells people about it. I appreciate that about him.
Right.
That's how he's participating now because that's the only way he can participate. But it's just that he has a bigger fear of AI, I think, than you and I put together. Probably your husband does too. And that's I don't
Well,
know. I
Facebook,
don't know.
he's just as bad with Facebook. And now that AI has come in, oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's not
Yes.
go down that conspiracy rabbit hole. It's like, no, it's okay, honey. I got you.
Yeah. A
Well,
lot of
you know
times,
what? You know what?
Miss Gloria.
AI, I love AI, okay? And I'm a sponge just soaking it up, okay? But what you put in is what you get out. If you put in bad, you're going to get bad out. If you put in good, you're going to do it. It's a tool to help our business, okay? It's a tool to help others learn that it can be good. And I've taught it several times on our mornings. And, I'm digging into it and I'm like a sponge and I got people that I'm learning from it, but like I said, it just depends on the person. Now, if I've been getting some of these reels that, I don't like. I don't know how they got there and I can't get them off. But I'm telling you what, it's, how do you get that junk off? And once it gets in there, you can hardly move it. But like I said, AI to me, if you use it as a tool, and then it can give you some great insights.
If you've got something on your page, you don't.
I agree with all of that, Glory, because I used it last night. Because I wanted some information and I wanted to see if it would give me some correct information. Um, but we're just talking about in terms of, how people can use things for bad. And anymore, our lives are so, there's no privacy in our lives. So we got to
Right.
be very careful because I get so much now, and I don't know if they go in and they figure because you're a certain age that you're stupid and you're going to fall for everything, or because, so many people are challenged, um, Alzheimer's and all these things. So a lot of people are fooled, the older people. Um, and it's just disgusting. I get angry. You get so much, Social Security this, do this with United Healthcare, whatever. I'm just not doing it because you don't know if it's for real. So my thing
Right.
is caution, because there are certain things that are not going to come by way of the social media, So uh, in which, I got people that I can't bring into the business because they won't put anything out there, any of their information they won't use. They won't even put their credit card information out there. And I've been hit with those kinds of things many, many times with my cards, because, when you're uh, out there and you use that. Long way to the Musos. Okay, honey.
Morning, Mr. Greg.
Oop, he shut the door, Louis, before he heard you.
So close.
But yeah, we have to be oh so careful because things that were created for good turn bad. Look at the atomic bomb. It wasn't meant to do, so hey, that's life. We just have to be safe as safe as we can possibly be. And to no fault of our own, that's just the world we live in now. So don't throw caution to the wind.
Got a
Well, another,
question.
okay.
How was the call yesterday? I missed the 2 o'clock one. Was anybody get on it?
Yeah,
Please do.
Jerry was talking about it earlier. Shelley, were you on it?
yeah, I was on it.
How was it?
It was pretty good. It was a little bit more informative than the stuff that we got, but not a ton. But there were a few additional points that they made. And it wasn't too long.
It was supposed to only be like a half an hour, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty good.
Cool. And it
I
will be
thought-
reposted. It will be reposted by corporate. So both the one by Troy and the
Yeah, it
one
was
by Queen.
30 minutes. But I feel
Yeah.
like there was missing information.
You feel like there was missing information?
From Jerry.
Yeah, like
Jerry
some of the
said,
PowerPoints that would like skip past.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I thought it was.
I was like, oh, too fast.
Yeah. Yeah.
I tried to, I give a guy yesterday one of our new Max O2 or whatever it is, the water, right?
Yeah.
When he heard that it was $60 for 28 vials, he said, I can go down and buy a whole bunch of 5-hour hot shots for that kind of.
Not really. Think about it. They're like $3 and $4 a pop.
Well,
Not even
those
the same
end up
thing.
being, well, they ended up being $4 too.
The Costco is in their Costco pack is more expensive per stick than the Max 2O. People and
breathe,
okay.
Sharon, breathe.
I know, right? I know. Louis, I showed up in Dallas because we had 1 box of Electrolab, the coconut lime, and I told Mr. C he could have those. I went to Costco. I bought a Costco pack of the only flavor of liquid IV that I can even stomach. And then I went to Dallas and we dropped that. And I did the math in my head really quick because an 8-pack box of liquid IV at most grocery stores, because I've been pricing them, are running between $11.99 for 8 sticks, and some of them are $24.99 for 8 sticks. So people need to those 5-hour energy are not the same as the hydration sticks. People need to be educated.
Well, in terms of their health, those 5-hour the caffeine content. What is that noise?
It's
Thank
the
you.
background. It's a background noise coming from the interpreter.
Yeah, those 5-hour energy drinks are garbage. They're poison as far as I'm concerned.
They are, so people have to, in terms of their health and how they feel about their health, because we're just different, and perhaps that, and guys, I went to my doctor yesterday, and they took my blood pressure, and I finally admitted to him. I said, I don't take blood pressure medicine anymore. And his eyes popped because I guess he couldn't believe. I said, I probably haven't had blood pressure medicine in 4 to 6 months. I don't know.
You go, Mama Sandy.
He asked me, was there any reason why? Then he tried to
You don't want any snake venom anymore?
No, I don't take the snake venom anymore. And then he tried to offer.
Smarter than you, that's for sure. Wow. You go, Mama Sandy.
Yeah, he knows. I
So
guess
how
he's
was your blood pressure? Was it okay?
Yeah.
Well, then,
That's why he couldn't believe, I'm going, oh, wow. Because they even back in the day before I knew a lot of things myself, and they start you on this stuff talking about preventive because both of my parents had blood pressure problems. So you're predisposed for it. So they start giving you this mess before it even starts to happen. And I eventually did develop with, a blood pressure situation, even I think when I was taking it. So, yeah, I was predispositioned for it, but at the same time, I started doing my researches for prevention. And, that's part of my spill to customers or anyone. I look at the body almost like I would be an automobile, because if you know your predisposition, because I recognized many moons ago that with the blood pressure, uh, popping to, because my grandmother, I understand, who died before I was ever born, and my mom died of a cerebral, uh, a, a hemorrhage, more or less. And I'm thinking, well, my vessels, if my blood pressure goes up, I don't want them to pop. So that's when I started grapeseed extract many years ago because it strengthens the blood vessels. So now, banally, I just switched over, but I've always taken some kind of grapeseed extract. So yeah, CoQ10, this is something that our body produces naturally, but like anything else, as we age, it depletes. So CoQ10 is very important that everyone should be taking it. Everyone should be taking CoQ10 for your heart health. So there are just things that Mama Sandy, if I can stop it from happening to help myself, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because you're just not gonna. I'm not gonna go in your office even when I had my knee surgeries. If you go in there for anything, they will give you pain pills. Well, I'm going, not this one. And then there are people that just pop them and they don't recognize what pain medications do to your belly, to your gut, to your gut. And I mean, if you're going to take them, eat. Otherwise, they're going to eat your gut and you're going to end up with an ulcer, diverticulitis, something. Aspirin. Doctors put these people on these aspirin, older, take a aspirin here and aspirin there, in terms of your thinning of your blood. Well, now, I know what noni, before that we had nitro extreme, for our blood, to keep our blood clean, to stop clotting and all this stuff. But, oh, I'm on a blood thinner. You're not giving that to me. I'm not taking it. So that's your mama Sandy.
Yeah, and it
No.
gets me, there's so many medications that give you side effects, and then the doctor ends up giving you more medication for the side effects.
Because he doesn't know it. He doesn't care because they get money. It's all about money, profit.
Yeah.
And so many people are dead because of that. My doctor this and my doctor that. Hey, I got just as much sense. Maybe I don't have the 8 to 12 years of education, but I'm gonna do my own little researches. What I feel side effects. These side effects of these things just blow your mind. You're gonna put this in your body,
I know.
The
hallucination.
side effects is worse than the problem.
Usually.
Yeah, there
So,
it is.
yeah.
There it is.
One of my favorite things, I currently teach a pathology class at school. And one of the things I have my students do is I say, do me a favor, go home, find a commercial about some drug on currently on the market. And it's not hard to find a commercial about drugs. They're everywhere. I'm like, do me a favor, listen to the whole commercial. Don't just sit there and watch it. Listen to the whole commercial. Listen to everything they say about what the drug is for, and then listen to the complete list of side effects. And if they don't give you the complete list verbally, look at the bottom of the screen and read the fine print because it's written down there, by the way. And listen to all the things that could go wrong if you take this particular medication. Now, one of my favorite horrific drugs out on the market right now is Rinvoq. I'm gonna just say it's
Ah,
and so because one of its side effects is death. And I'm like, hold
yeah,
up, how is
hello.
that
Knock, knock.
Yeah, but
like
in
how
the
is death a side
commercial,
effect?
they're lightly talking like this is so
Right.
wonderful as they say these side effects.
Yes.
And they make it all
In rare
cutesy and
cases accidental death may
animated.
occur. I'm like, so
Yeah. And
I
don't give
always
don't
get a little up in arms
oh
about the drugs and the side effects when people don't pay attention because they're giving you this lovely gloss over picture on the screen and trying to
yeah.
make it seem like everything's all lovely, wonderful, hunky dory. And then all of a sudden they slip in there that you may die horribly from some rare disease that could possibly affect you if you take this drug that most people
Which
wouldn't get in the first
obviously
place.
happened to somebody if they know it can
Correct.
happen. So
That's the
yeah.
problem. That's the
Ugh,
thing. In order for
ugh.
them to have to put it on there, it means it had to
Yeah,
happen to somebody.
yeah.
That's one of the things. So that part is reality. I'm not
Ugh.
saying the drugs are good. I'm not saying that we shouldn't take them when necessary. What I'm saying is please look for an alternative if possible, and try to do better with other ways of in your life. If there's some way to avoid taking something where accidental death may occur is a side effect. Um,
And a lot of
I
these
do a
things, you know,
lot of. Oh, go for it, Mom Sandy.
a lot of these things too, you know, even like the blood pressure medication, they convince people, oh, you'll never come off of it. You're never supposed to come off of it.
Mhm.
Well, you know, I'm sorry to say, well, what if you tell me that? I'm working my way, and I worked my way, and I finally just said, hey, I'm not going to take it anymore. I'm not gonna, and I haven't. I've I stood fast. Um, because even cholesterol, they got this number, this magic number of 200.
Yeah,
Well,
and they change it all the time.
yes, and it should be
And the
higher.
higher you're in
It
elevation
should
and the
be
lower
higher.
you're in elevation is a difference, is a huge difference. NASA brought out a thing on cholesterol that the higher in elevation, your numbers have to be higher, and the
Exactly.
lower, and
We need it.
and every time they want to change it, it used to be you could be 300 and now they got it down to two something.
And even so, Twyla, they're talking about the heart disease that's created by the cholesterol. Well, their studies have shown that the higher, it doesn't matter. You know, it's basically more or less your heart and infection more so than an inflammation versus the cholesterol that creates the heart attacks. You know, so it's crazy what they've done. You know, they give that away like candy. You go in there, you know.
Statin
I
drugs, they're really bad.
Yes, very, very bad.
You know, one,
Paul
this
was
is a
on
little
them
bit,
for 3 days and he hurt so bad and he quit him and it took 6 months for him to get it out of his system for
My
just
mom
taking
just
it
does
for
the same
three
thing with
days.
well, you
statins
know,
Sometimes
too.
that's
this is
They
a
just
try
little bit,
Go ahead.
when we when
Sorry.
we when we went
this is,
to the last Kamari that I went to, and I think that was when we went to California. And the couple I met, and that was Paul Louis, you know, what's her name's husband was in the wheelchair, and I had
King?
something
No,
else.
King.
The
Was it King?
Mattingly, no,
Manning.
Mattingly was the last name. I can't even. I'm looking at her.
Stephanie.
Stephanie, because she joined us on accountability for a minute. Now she's got a podcast. I can't get her because Samari was really not nice to her because the team she joined, they wanted her to do, she wasn't working fast enough for them, and they wanted her to do this and do that, and she wasn't. And so I brought her I had asked Amelia, could she join our accountability? And she was there for quite some time. But I asked him, I says, why are you in the wheelchair? What, you know, because Mama said, you know, and he told me statins, statins. His body, it weakened his muscles so bad. He hadn't walked in 2 years. He had not walked in 2 years due to taking, I think it was Lipitor. And see, years ago, before I knew, I took some Lipitor. I'm not sure if some of the things that are going on with me have not been harmful. Well, I know, but until I found out, and like I said, I pulled myself off things. But there are always these lawyers too. They got their lawsuits going because of a lot of these medications and the harm that they have done to people. So it's
Well,
just
like you said, it was all about money. My
yes.
stepdad was 98, and his doctor told him that he needed to go down and get uh, the prostate surgery. 98. And I told that doctor, I said, "Are you serious? This man is 98 years old, and the only thing he uses it for is to pee through." And I said, "And he's peeing fine." And that doctor looked at me and he said, "He needs to be checked." So we went down and had him checked, and the doctor was old doctor. And I told him, I said, "He's 98. He's lived this long with it. Why does he need surgery?" And the old doctor said he doesn't. And he said, I told him, I said, his doctor is saying he's got to have this done. And the old doctor said, no, he doesn't. And he like 20 days being 102. And he didn't
Well,
more need that surgery than a man in the moon.
well, guys, if you pay attention through the years, they pick something that that they want to make money off of. And back in my day, it was tonsils and adenoid surgery. And I had mine removed at 13. Then they came up with the women with the mastectomies and the hysterectomies, when a lot of these people did not need these things. They did not need hysterectomies. They did not need mastectomies.
Yes.
It's
Especially
just it's
down here in the South where they treated everything. You're sick, it's your woman parts. Oh, you've got this, it's your woman parts. It's sickening what they've done to
people,
women.
people. It is.
Yeah.
It really is. It's so, so sad. So, but a
Amen
lot
to
of
that.
people we cannot convince, my doctor this, my doctor that, and, mama said, I have to hold myself back because sometimes even being a Christian, hey, your doctor should go to, where.
They've been well documented.
Yeah, and some of them, if you really cannot question them and ask them, and they try to get arrogant on you, my suggestion: doctors, change doctors. Because if you cannot, because my doctor, he just after a certain time he just looks at me, because then he says, "Well, do you want the flu shot, or you need a flu shot and a pneumonia shot?" And then he'll look in my records and he said, "Oh, yeah, have taken it." And then he'll say, "Well, is there a reason?" Then I'll look at him again, then he'll stop. As they say, talk to the hand, because,
Yeah.
and he has the right to really not want me to be his patient, but he just, he's good. He comes in, he's a sweetheart. And I when I left him yesterday, when he was shaking my hand, and I said, everybody else is leaving because my orthopedic surgeon, I understand, is going to another team or group. And so he's just telling me this. I haven't, because I wondered to go to him with this hip problem and stuff that got going on. So if I choose that, in which he did tell me that he probably would not tell him any more than me, because he did check the tenderness that I have, because Baba said that's terrible too. I do diagnose myself with some things, and I've gone from sciatica now to, and I think I told Louis, to gluteal tendinopathy, and that's what he kind of, with some of the things in the push and the maneuvering of the hip, he came up with that. So there is one thing that I do take, and that is diclofenac, which is an anti-inflammatory. He says, well, why? And I got him to give me that some years ago myself. He didn't even question. That goes to show you, And he says, well, what are you taking it for? I says, for pain. When I, well, it calls for two of them a day. And I said, well, I take them as needed. Sometimes I may have 2 or 3 a week, a whole week. So he says, well, if this is going on, he says, I can take it once a day if I want. But again, I eat because I know the side effect of that can be just like pain medication, even though it isn't a pain medication. I eat when I take any of these. Because I remember one of the girls that I worked with was taking it, and she did develop an ulcer, but apparently I don't know why. I don't know why, but I've never had that kind of a side effect because Mama Sandy eats.
5 minutes too.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
5 minutes.
Did you guys realize that JFK has this weird voice because of a flu shot? He
That
had a
might be the
side
only voice he's
effect.
got.
Yeah, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's when he realized that because his doctor couldn't figure out what caused whatever his issue is, and he was researching for a court case for other people about vaccine injury when he discovered that is a common side effect for lots of vaccines, and one of them is the flu vaccine. And it happened after he got a flu vaccine.
Say
Who
that
was
again. I didn't hear what was the side effect.
Well, his shaky voice and how it's all weird when he
RFK.
talks. Or RFK, yeah.
Kennedy.
Yeah, the current head of the CDC.
Well, it runs in their family, doesn't it? Because I remember all of them, Rose, all of them. And I know it's something of a spasm of the voice box.
Yeah, but he didn't have that before. And after he had a flu vaccine, he ended up with this happening. And the doctor said he didn't know what was causing this, but in RFK's research on vaccines, he discovered that some vaccines can cause this, and it's not uncommon.
Wow.
Isn't that
Well,
amazing?
Ken Johnson has said for years that you shouldn't be putting foreign things in your body, like all the flu shots and the COVID shots and all of that. So because
Yeah.
he's pretty up on all, I don't know how, I guess he does a lot of research and stuff, but he's been telling us, a lot of people that have died since COVID came out was from the COVID shot, because it gave some people dementia, it gave some of them other things,
Oh, tons of other things.
Tons, and I unfortunately now I did take COVID. I took 2 of them.
I did too. I did too.
And I got things going on like my breathing, my stamina, my stamina.
You can go and get on and have the spike protein taken out of your body. There's stuff you can take.
There's a detox you can do, and it gets rid of it.
Yeah.
You'll have to tell me about that, because.
And that's going to be tomorrow's topic, because
it'll have to be tomorrow.
you got 3 minutes, 2 minutes into the other call. I love you guys.
Okay.
It's been a great call this morning. Thank you very much. Jerry's got something.
Thank you all. See you. Love you guys.
Love you
Good night.
guys.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
It's Thursday, so get out there, do your thing, and make the business happen. Love you. If you got questions, hit me up today. I'll be working, but I'll respond back to you.
Love y'all.
Love you.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye bye.